Hello and welcome to another new episode of Learning Simplified. Now, before we proceed, the first thing that I would like to ask you to subscribe us, like us, share our words. Now, in this tutorial, all we are going to do, we are going to connect our style sheets and scripting elements with the page that we have created. In this case, we will be requiring a definite file which is known as functions.php. Now, this is the project's root directory, and here inside, all we are going to do, we are going to create a new file which we will be naming as functions.php. So there it goes. The first thing that we are going to do, we will be creating a new function which will be known as add custom style. So in the very first case, let's put on some comment, something like this one. It's not control actually, to connect the scripts and style sheets into our page. Now here we have created a function which is known as add custom elements, and inside all we are going to do, we need to first register our style sheet components here or scripting elements here, and then we need to enqueue them. So this is a very super easy method. Now WordPress has a very definite function for it. In the first case, we need to register our styled elements here. Register style. Now this is practically the WordPress function that registers the style sheet into your project. And in the first case, all we are trying to do here, we are trying to connect this style.css with the WordPress theme that we have created. By this far, the thing that we had done here actually, we had practically registered this theme name here, this author, but we haven't practically established any connection between style.css and our theme. So this is what we are going to do next, and in that order we need this functions.php to accomplish that definite connection. So in the first case, all we can see that this is the $handle string. We need to put the ID of that particular string that we want to connect with our theme. So this is why we will be naming it as style. And in the next case, it requires a definite source. Now here comes the question. We are practically establishing a connection between a default CSS file with our theme. In that particular case, all we need to do, we need to put this syntax here. This is a default WordPress function which is known as get style sheet URI. There it goes, and we won't be doing anything else right over here. So we won't be needing this rest of the things here. There it goes. All we are going to do now, press Ctrl S. Now we have registered this style sheet here. We have missed this semicolon here. That is why there is a parse error in that case. So if we now reload, we can see that there's practically no such difference, because so far we have registered our style sheet, but we haven't enqueued anything. So in the next case, all we need to do, we need to enqueue our style here. And in that essence, we need the ID that we have created in this respect. So here it goes. We won't be needing anything like this. Instead, all we are going to do, we are going to place this ID that we had created, with which we had practically registered our style sheet into our project. So if we now press Ctrl S, so we can see that there's practically no such difference. This is due to the fact we had called in a function, but we haven't defined when that function should work or when that particular function should be activated. So in the next case, we need to define the exact moment when this individual function that we have created, it should be called into our project. We will be changing this function name. I don't like this function name. I'll be placing something else like adding styles or adding files or styles, adding files to our theme. So there it goes. Now we have created this individual function here. Now we need to call it in. So that is why we will be copying this name first, and at the end of this function we need to provide this add action function here. Now we can see that it practically depends upon the hook, and the hook is the only thing that calls in a definite function that we had created. In the first case, all we need to do, we need to mention that definite hook. We are speaking about enqueue scripts. So there it goes. And in the next case, as a second parameter, we won't be needing anything else, but we need to add the function, the callable function that we had created. So in the second case, as a parameter, we will be putting this function name right over here. And of course, we need to end it with a semicolon. So this is how it has been done here. Now if we get back to our project and reload, so far there isn't any noticeable change. Let's get back to the style.css, and here we are putting it as, we are just checking whether the connection is being established or not. This is the background. Reload. There isn't any noticeable change, so we need to check what we have done. Let's get back to functions.php. I think it is plural, not singular. Get back to your project, reload, and you can see that the HTML page is now turned with a black background color. That means the connection is now been established with our project, and we have successfully added this individual style, style.css with our project. But the next thing that we are going to do, we ain't practically going to make usage of this style.css, this default style.css that we have done. Instead, we'll be doing something else, like we are about to add Bootstrap with our project. That means we need to connect Bootstrap with the theme that we have created. So in an order to do that, all we need to do, we need to work with this Bootstrap CDN.